motivation? Did you try to block it out? Was it a distraction?
I was, because the thing is throughout my whole life, you know, like from when I wrestled in high school, the motivator to end on a good note high school was because I had college, you know, and then after wrestling in college, the motivator to end on a good note in college because I wanted to wrestle in the Olympics, you know, so I always had like this next step, and then, you know, my college career got cut a little short, and, you know, I found fighting, and it filled that void for me. And to answer your question, it was maybe, because if I came in here with this is definitely my last fight, what am I looking forward to? So I was looking to come in and put on my best performance and almost feel invincible, or end him in the first round where I'm like, give me somebody else, you know. But I mean, it was a tiring fight for me a little bit, even though it may not look like it. And you know, I would have liked to there have been more blood and you know, maybe me break his arm or something like that. But it wasn't the case. He kept blocking his face, you know. So in my eyes, it wasn't exciting. So, but I got the win, and nobody's gonna remember that wasn't exciting. They remember I won.
Did you win the convincing moment for you, or to
Well, I mean, you know, I was telling myself if I lost, I was indefinitely retiring, because I would rather retire than the UFC not sign me back, or you know, or cut me. You know, like I'm not fired, I quit. But I was able to go out and win.
So why did you pull the trigger? What convinced you to say no? Yeah, this is the right time.
The answer to that is in the first round, he hooked up and he hit me pretty hard and kind of stumbled me down. And I got up and he was right in my face, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this right now. Like you really want to fight me right now. Like you're not giving up. You think you're gonna beat me right now. And for, you know, maybe 20 seconds, I was like, maybe I just let this guy win, you know. And then I got to his leg, and I'm like, nah, he ain't gonna win, dog. But the fact that I had this little conversation with myself for 20 seconds in a fist fight, when I was younger, I would never, ever, ever think that, ever. You know, and you know the saying that the less you know, the better? I feel like that's the case for fighting. You know, I know too much about fighting, and I've done it so many times that I know what I have to do to win, and I know what he's thinking, and I'm tired, man.
Now you've made the decision, is there a sense of like a weight off your shoulders? And now you've actually pulled the trigger, you're done, or is it, how are you feeling?
I mean, if for some reason I run out of money really quick, and I need a quick turnaround, you know? But the thing is, and I was telling another interview earlier, is I never balled out of control, you know? When a bill comes, I'm not like, not trying to grab it really fast. You know, I don't buy designer clothes. You know, I was able to buy a house. It's not a big house, but it's enough for me and my boys. I have a reliable car. I don't have fancy watches. You know, I got a couple of dollars in investments, and you know, I'm looking to kind of get into the workforce, I guess. You know, or I mean, if the UFC they want me, you know, to do a little talking or a little. I'm in. I'm game, you know. But in terms of fighting and getting punched in the face, not into it.
Is there an immediate plan, like, for what you will do? It sounds like you're keeping your options open. I mean, is there, like, a job waiting for you, or something that you're wanting to do?
So after the Rick Glenn fight, prior to that fight, I told myself if I lose, I'm retiring. And after the third round, I totally thought I won. And Ryan LaFleur came in the octagon. He said, "You pushed. You got the job done. You definitely won that fight." And then I got the result, and I looked at him. I went, "I have to retire." I told myself I'd retire. This is it. I'm done with this. You know what I mean? 3 split decisions in a row where I really watched them, and I went in when I rewatched them with the looking for how that guy beat me, and I didn't see it. I was really open. I mean, maybe Hawkins, maybe. But the other two I smashed. And I didn't want to, give judges the ability to do that to me again. I mean, in wrestling, you win, 7-3. Football, you win 7-49 or whatever, Like, it's there. And after fighting for, a decade, I'm still slightly unaware on how fights are scored. Like, I don't, I mean, I outstruck Feely, but he took me down for 2 times for a split second. So I was like, all right, I won that. But I didn't. So then against Rick Glenn, he outstruck me by 6 punches, but I took him down 6 times and held him on his back for, like a third of the fight, and then I lost. And I was like, wait, I don't get it, And I just don't want to be able to put in that position for people to just, when you lose, the world stops, man. And it's, fighting is a very lonely sport. Like, when I go back to my room right now, I bet you're going to have a ton of texts. Great job. When you lose, you don't get those texts, man. And it sucks. And I don't want to do that anymore.
How you look back on your career then? I mean, did you enjoy your time as a fighter, or are you going to think back like, God, I wish I'd never done that? And
no. When I was younger, I would watch Barry Sanders like crush the field, and I'd watch his highlights before football games, and I would try to be like Barry Sanders, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna be a professional NFL player. And I learned like by 8th grade, like, hey, not in the cards. But I was very determined to be a professional athlete of some shape or form, and I fell in love with wrestling, and the goal was to be an Olympic wrestler. And in my mind, an Olympic wrestler is a professional athlete, even though kind of aren't. And like I said earlier, my college career got cut short, and fighting filled that void, and I was like, hey, I can still be a professional athlete. When I first got into fighting, the goal was just to make enough money just to pay off my college loans. And then I found out you can make a career out of it, or I found out you can make, money. I was like, what? So I was fighting for 400, and I thought I was rich, and I was going out and like take a girl out, like, goes on me, babe. Like, hey, how many drinks you want, But then I found out you could really make a career out of it, and I would drink a few beers, and I'd watch like Donald Cerrone and Ben Henderson, in a fight, and I'd be like, I think I could take them down, like, I could definitely take them down. And I always had that mindset, and I started learning more and more about fighting, and it hurts.
How long has retirement been in your mind? Was it just starting this camp, or is it something that's been for quite a bit?
Because the thing is, at fighting at 145, I know I'm short and stuff like that, but I'm jacked. I don't know if you can tell. And I naturally get up to like 175, like have a few cervezas, and a couple chicken parmesans. That's like where my body wants to hang out, and so like when I would get a fight, it wasn't like, oh, I gotta get in there and get tired and fight this guy. I have to lose 30 pounds. And I've been doing it for a long time, 8 years? I don't feel like it's good for your body. So, I mean, that's why, like after the Rick Glenn fight, it was like, I kind of had, I don't know if I could curse or not, but I kind of like, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to cut that extra 10 pounds. I'm going to fight wherever I want. And 155 is where I started fighting at. And I was 7-0 at 155 at one point in my life, and I felt invincible,
What do you think your favorite memory will be from your career?
My favorite memory, because again, I would watch Donald Cerrone and I'd watch Clay Guida fight. I'm like, man, these guys are animals. They're sponsored by Tap Out. They must be making bank. They got buses and stuff like that. So when I fought Clay Guida, that was pretty cool. Beating a guy that I I kind of looked up to, and I thought he was like a complete stud. But in terms of performance and leaving it all out there in the octagon was my fight against Matt Grice, where I on the final bell was gasping for air, so tired, that I left it all right there.
You talk about your boys. Are they here tonight?
They're not. I mean, I thought about it because I watched, some of those big stars, like bring their kids in. I was like, man, that'd be pretty cool. But there was a little piece of me that, if I lost, that would suck. I mean, maybe that's a shitty way to think, but I don't know. I mean, they're still pretty young. They're going to be 4 and 6 in April, and as people here drinking and blood and stuff like that, I don't. Well, we could watch it from my couch.
You have to go back to 2011 when you were the underdog in a fight. You were put as the favorite originally and then were bet to the underdog. Is that a thing that's insulting to you, or does that even go into your mind?
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Because I was never, at least in my mind, I was never the most naturally gifted athlete in any sport I did. What put me in the starting position, or is my extra work and my ability to grind and just keep going, and I was going against guys that were naturally, I felt, freaks, we call them in wrestling, just he just came out of the womb knowing how to crush a side headlock, where I had to drill it, So for me, man, I was always kind of the underdog, and I always wanted to prove people wrong. That's one thing for me that's very motivating, is when you tell me I can't do something.
Is that how you'd like your career to be remembered? As someone who was less athletically gifted than the competition, but maybe your heart drove you?
Yeah, I'm a very heart-driven guy, and my desire and will to win is very great. I'm not done setting goals for myself. This doesn't stop here. I was telling Mark that because I think it's completely insane. I want to run from Long Island MMA and Farmingdale out to Montauk. Just hang on, for that you're laughing at me right now. I think it's a lot of people don't think I can do it.
Yeah,
it's 88 miles. The furthest I've ever run was 11 miles, but I know that mentally I will not break, and I will do it. I can do it right now if I wanted to.
So you plan for the summer?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's amazing.
But not in the summer, because it's too hot. I'm gonna, once my foot swelling goes down, maybe that's the goal.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Good luck to your uncle.
Thank you, man.